Hello, my name is Amy Camie, and in this resource video I would like to introduce you to my friend Norma Harnack, who is a registered nurse and an international teacher trainer for Touch for Health. In this video, Norma is going to share with us the actual tracing of the meridians, and we can do it in a number of different ways. I am sitting on the floor. Norma is sitting in a chair. You can also do this standing, and you can also just imagine the pathways. I felt this was very important to share because I used this technique as I was going through my chemotherapy and radiation treatments. So Norma, thank you so much for sharing, again, your expertise and your time with us today.
Thank you for allowing me to share it so that I can share it with the many, many people that I know will appreciate being able to use this. Just recently, Dr. Oz was talking about energy medicine being the next step in medicine. Well, apparently the Chinese took that step about 5,000 years ago and discovered that there were channels in our bodies that hosted the energy of the body, and that those channels assisted every function that the body performs. So by accessing those channels, what you will be doing is sort of calling them forth so that they can do their best job for you. So we're going to begin with the stomach meridian, which starts right underneath the eye. So you're touching your cheekbone, all right? We're going to go down the cheek to the chin. We're going to make a half circle around the face, and then we're going to come back down through that same line onto the neck, all the way down to the collarbone. We're going to move out on the collarbone toward the shoulder, and then we're going to go straight down the front of the body, all the way down to the knee. When we get to the knee, we're going to give a little rub there at the junction of the knee and the leg, and then we're going to continue down the front right side of the legs, as we're on the right side of the body, and we're going to come out of the second toe. Okay? One more time. We're going to do them all three. We're going to start underneath the eye, drop down to the chin, make a half circle around the face, come through that line again onto the neck, down to the collarbone, out to the shoulder, down the front of the body. We're going to give a short visit to the joint of the knee, and then we're going to come down the leg, and we're going to come out of the second toe. Last time, we're going to start at the cheekbone, come down to the chin, make a half moon around the face, come all the way down onto the neck, out on the collarbone, down the front of the body, make a little visit at the junction of the knee, come down the front of the leg and out of the second toe. Now stay down there where your toes are, because where one meridian ends, the next one will begin. So this ended on the little toe. We're going to move to the outside of the big toe, and we're going to come up the edge of the foot right onto the ankle bone where it kind of sticks out. We're going to stay close into the shin, between the shin and the middle of the leg. We're going to come all the way up. We're going to kind of flare out a little bit at the thighs, come over to the hip bone, come up the rib cage, and back down to the end of the rib cage for the spleen meridian. Okay? The spleen meridian starts on the inside of the big toe, comes along the edge of the foot, onto the ankle bone, up the center inside of the leg, onto the thigh, out to the hips, onto the rib cage and back down. Okay, now stand up and do it. We're going to start at the inside of the big toe, edge of the foot, onto the ankle bone, middle of the leg, all the way up, flaring out a little bit at the hip, onto the rib cage, and halfway down. Remember what I said, where one meridian ends, the next one will begin. So, we're going to go to the armpit. Center of the armpit, down the side of the arm, across the palm, to the inside of the little finger is the heart meridian. Center of the armpit, down the side, inside of the arm, across the palm, down the inside of the middle finger to the tip for the heart meridian. Last time. Inside in the center of the armpit, down the side of the arm, across the palm, out the tip of the little finger. You know what, we have to do it one more time because that leaves out this other side. So, center of the armpit, side of the arm, across the palm, out the little finger. Hang on to that little finger. Turn the hand over for the small intestine meridian. It's going to run up the side of the arm, starting with the little finger, all the way up to the shoulder, and then we're going to try to outline where the shoulder blade is. I often think that's like a pork chop shape there. And we're going to come underneath the ear, come all the way up to the nose, and back out to the eye for the small intestine meridian.
Do that.
We're going to do tip of the baby finger, side of the arm, onto the shoulder, outline your shoulder blade as best you can, come underneath the ear, out to the nose, back toward the eye. Okay? We're going to do it one more time.
Actually, two more times.
Two more times. That's right. You can't leave anything out. We don't want the other
We're
side
balancing.
right. We want them to be balanced. Tip of the finger, side of the arm, over the shoulder, outline the shoulder blade, underneath the ear, over toward the nose, back toward the eye. Tip of the finger, up to the side of the arm, across the shoulder, outline your shoulder blade, underneath your ear, out to your nose, back to your eye. Small intestine meridian. Now we're going to do the bladder meridian. Now the bladder meridian has two parts to it, all right? So we're going to make one run, and then we're going to repeat that same run. All right.
You have to stay forward.
Yeah, and I think I'll have to stand up to show the back part.
Okay.
Okay? So, we're going to...
I can show it because that way they can keep hearing you talk.
Oh, that's a good idea. Amy has great ideas. Have you noticed that? So, we're going to start right here. This is called the canthus of the eye. It's a very inside portion of the eye. We're going to bring this line up the forehead. All right? By the way, these are two separate lines. So if you need to do one side at a time, that's fine. Okay? All right. Again, we're going to start right here in the corner of the eye. Bring it up the forehead, over the top of the head, on either side of the vertebrae, the center of your body, the backbone, the spine, and we're going to have to move our arms and touch ourselves, come back, bring it down, all the way down on either side of the spine, all the way down to the crease of the buttocks, follow the crease of the buttocks all the way out to the hip, to the side of your leg. All right? Now, that's only the beginning of the bladder meridian. We're going to go back up to the shoulders. We're going to pick up the bladder meridian at the shoulders, bring it out onto the shoulders. We're going to kind of go behind ourselves to come down the back side of the body, on the edge of the back of the leg, all the way down to the heels, out the side of the foot, out of the baby toe. It's the longest meridian in the body. If you're sitting down and you're going to do this, I would suggest coming to the edge of your chair a bit and beginning in the center of the eye, over the top of the head, down on either side of your vertebrae, reach back there, pull it down like you're pulling a shade down on either side of the spine, all the way down. You kind of lean forward so you can take it down to the crease of the buttocks and bring it out on the side. You're going to go back up to the top, pick up the meridian at the shoulders, bring it out on the shoulders. You're going to reach behind you, pull that energy down on the side and a little bit to the back of the legs, kind of sit on your hands a little bit, and then come down behind the ankle, side of the foot, out the baby toe. Last time. Center of the eyes, up the forehead, across the top of the head, on either side of the vertebrae. Reach back there, pull that energy down, kind of sit on your hands. Come on down. Oh,
Nice.
that didn't work.
I'm holding it right here.
Sorry about that.
Right
She's
here.
holding it in the right spot.
And then come up.
It's hard to chew gum and tap dance at the same time. All right, so come back up to the shoulders, all right? Now we're going to bring the energy out onto the shoulder, and then we're going to bring it down behind us. Sit on those hands, come on down, all the way down behind the ankle and out of the baby toe. Now, what are you supposed to do? Stay down there, because the next meridian is going to start on the ball of your foot, right there. A lot of people have pain in that area. So you might rub it a little bit even before you start. And this is the kidney meridian. So we're going to start at the ball of the foot, and then we're going to come back up onto the top of the foot. We're going to come to the ankle, and we'll make a circle around the ankle. And then we're going to come up the very center of the inside of the leg. We're going to keep in that center all the way to the pubic bone, where we're going to come straight up either side of the body, all the way to those notches at the end of the clavicle, where the clavicle joins the rib cage. That notch right there.
And you may notice that I'm feeling a little warm. So it's just energy being generated. So if you notice that you're feeling a little warm, it's totally natural.
Yes, you're supposed to feel a little warm.
That's right.
Or if you're hot to start with, you might find you're feeling a little cool.
Right.
Okay. All right, so let's start again at the foot. Ball of the foot. We're going to come up on top of the foot, make a circle around the ankle, come up the very center of the leg, inside center of the thigh to the pubic bone on either side of the body, all the way up to this notch where the rib cage meets the clavicle. Give it a little rub. We're going to do it one more time. Ball of the foot, top of the foot, circle around the ankle, inside of the leg, all the way up. Come to that notch right there below your Adam's apple where the two bones meet up. Kidney meridian. The next meridian that we're going to trace is called the circulation sex meridian, and we went over that in a previous resource video, which I recommend you go look at that. On the other hand, this meridian starts on the nipple, your nipple. So you touch your nipple, you come up to the top, to the inside top of the shoulder, come down the inside center of the arm. Keep coming down the center of the arm over the center of the hand, come right out of the tip of the middle finger. An instructor of mine told me, you'll never forget this meridian because you go from nip to tip.
I love that.
Circulation sex meridian starts on your nipple, comes up to the inside of your shoulder. We're going to go down the very center of the arm, through the center of the hand, out of the tip of the middle finger. Nipple, inside of the arm, tip of the middle finger. Nipple, inside of the arm, tip of the middle finger. Circulation sex meridian. Hang on, turn that hand over. Ring finger. I like to call this the ring-a-ding-ding meridian because most people wear rings on this finger, or some people wear rings on this finger, and it's going to stay in line so that you're going to begin here at the very tip of the ring finger. We're going to follow that line up over the knob of the wrist. We're going to follow it to a little bit to the side of the arm. We're going to come right up to the shoulder, onto the neck. We're going to go around the ear. So if your phone rings, you pick it up and put it at the ear and come out at the eye, the edge of the eye. The ring-a-ding-ding meridian is also known as the triple warmer meridian. Let's do the other side. Ring finger. Come up the outer edge of the arm, come straight across the shoulder onto the neck, behind the ear, make a loop over the ear, come out at the eye. Ring finger. Outer edge of the arm, top of the shoulder, onto the neck, around the ear. Last time, ring finger, outer edge of the arm, over the top of the shoulder, behind the ear, over the ear, out to the eye. The ring-a-ding-ding or triple warmer meridian. Stay there at the eye because the next one is the gallbladder meridian. It is probably the most intricate meridian in the meridian sequences. However, you will be able to download a pattern of the meridians so that you can see, in case you miss these little curly cues, you can see how to do it, okay? This is the gallbladder meridian. Something you're going to notice, if you have a lot of headaches, I would say there is a huge chance that the places you're going to touch in this meridian are places that you are accustomed to having headaches in. So this is an excellent meridian for relieving headaches. We're going to start right here at the top of the cheekbone. We're going to go up to the hairline. We're going to make a circle forward on the temple. Then we're going to take it back onto the back of the ear. There's a big fat word called the mastoid process. That's where you're actually coming to. And, oh, okay. And we're going to then bring that same line forward again on the head to the top of your eyebrows. And then take it back over the top of your head. This time we're going to keep going. We're going to go down the side of the neck. Then we're going to come out a little bit on the shoulder, reach underneath, pull the energy forward toward the chest. Make a big circle to take it back onto the back of the body. Come down along the side of the legs, and we're going to take it all the way down toward the back side of the leg, under the ankle, and across the foot, out of the fourth toe for the gallbladder meridian. How the gall they had to make it so long. So we're going to do it again.
I'll keep turning.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're going to start right here at the top of the cheekbone. We're going to make a line up to the hairline. We're going to make a loop forward at the hairline. We're going to take that loop back over the ears to the back of the skull. We're going to bring that line forward again to the eyebrow. Then we're going to take that line back again, but this time we're going to keep going all the way down to the shoulders. We're going to reach underneath,
pull the energy forward onto the chest, take it back onto the hips. Now we're going to go down the side of the thighs, down the side of the leg, down a little behind the ankle, across to the front of the foot, and out of the fourth toe.
A lot of energy.
You don't need a fan to do this, but you will feel the results. So one more time.
Okay.
Top of the cheekbone. All right, I'm sorry. Top of the cheekbone back toward the ear though. So that we're going up toward the temple. We're going to make that forward loop, back behind the ears to the back of the skull, forward on the head to the eyebrow, back over the top of the head. Once again, got to reach back there, pull that energy forward on the chest, take it back at the hips, keep on going, come on down, all the way down, across the top of the foot, out the fourth toe for the gallbladder meridian. All right, so you're down there, you know the next meridian must be down there somewhere, and it is. Starts on the big toe again, but this time we're going to do the inside of the big toe. Right there, the tip of the nail bed on the inside. And we're going to come back onto the foot. We're going to get all the way to the ankle, and we're going to stay really close to this bone here, but the inside of this bone. This is your shin bone. So let me start again. Here at the tip of the inside part of the big toe, make a straight line back toward the ankle. We're going to stay right on the inside of that line all the way this time, all the way up till we get to the hips where we're going to flare out on the hip. This time we're going to come forward on the lower part of the rib cage for the liver meridian. Okay? Inside of the big toe. Straight line back. So you're right between the ankle and the shin bone. We're going to stay on the inside of that shin bone all the way up, 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 onto the hips, back, bring it forward, end on the end of the rib cage. Last time. Inside of the big toe for the liver meridian, straight line back, nice skinny line, up the side of the leg, inside of the leg, all the way up to the hip, forward onto the rib cage for the liver meridian. Stay in this area. Now we're going to do the lung meridian. This too has a little bit of a sing-song memory cue to it, because you're going to go from the lung, because this is actually where your lung is, to the thumb. So lung, thumb. We're going to start in this space where if you could see the inside of your body, this would be the top of the lung, okay? We're going to go up to the shoulder. We're going to stay on the inside, middle inside of the arm, and we're going to come out of the thumb. It's not a good description. Okay, let me do that again. We'll go to this side, top of the lung. Stay on this inside, but really want to be in line with the thumb, but on this side. Is that clear? Okay. Lung, and stay in that nice straight line and go down there and get that thumb. All right? Lung to thumb. Lung to thumb. Lung to thumb. Stay on the hand. It's the last one of the organ meridians. We're going to grasp the index finger, and we're going to stay in a skinny line again, a little bit more on the surface side of the arm as we come up the arm onto the shoulder, onto the collarbone, onto the neck, up the cheek, out to the nose, and back where we started with the stomach meridian. How about that? Let's try it again. Large intestine.
grab your finger, index finger, come up in that straight line. We're next to the other meridian. We're going to stay on the surface side of the arm, cross the shoulder, onto the neck, onto the cheek, out to the nose, and back where we started at the beginning of the stomach meridian. Index finger, straight line up, onto the shoulder, onto the neck, out to the nose, back to the eye. Index finger, straight line up, onto the shoulder, onto the neck, onto the cheek, out to the nose, back to the eye. So that is all of the 14 meridians. Now, there are 2 more meridians that we use in Western terms. One is the central meridian, which runs from the pubic bone straight up the center of the body, comes onto the neck, onto the chin, splits the bottom lip in 2, and ends right here. That's the central meridian. Something else you can do with that meridian, if you like, you can tap it. So we're going to start at the pubic bone. We're going to do each one 3 times. Yep. Okay. And we're going to tap the pubic bone. Tap, 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 tap. Don't tap your Adam's apple too hard. Tap, tap, tap. Once again, the central meridian starts at the pubic bone, comes up the center of the body, onto the neck, splits the face in 2, ends in the middle of the bottom lip. All right. Last but certainly not least, that's another thing. All the meridians, even though they have different names and are in different places, they're all equal. All of them have to be working at the same time, just like your body. Everything has to be working at the same time to get the best results. I often wondered if you could drive your car, just turn the ignition and just you and the engine go down the street. I don't know. Okay, so the governing meridian begins, remember they're all connected, so this one ended here in the middle of the bottom lip. This one starts at the end of the tailbone. It's going to come up all the way over the top of the head and end in the middle of the top lip. Okay? So, you ready? Oh, okay. So, as far down as you can reach to touch the tip of your tailbone, you're going to touch the tip of your tailbone, or as close as you can get. You're going to come straight up your spine, straight up the backbone, and reach over. Get as much of it as you can. Keep coming up over the center. Split your head in 2. Split the nose in 2. End right here in the middle of the top lip. Last time, we're going to start on the tailbone, come up the backbone, reach over and grab what you can get, bring it over the top of your head, split the nose, everything in 2 to end right here. Now, we'd like to leave you with something that if you don't do anything else, you'd be able to repeat this. And that is a cosmic kiss.
I like that. Norma, thank you so much. I also want to acknowledge that you can trace the meridians as we did. You can tap the meridians like we did with one of them. And then it's brushing, right? Being very gentle.
Just very gently.
Right.
brushing.
So there's different techniques to use, but you can use you can go and review the patterns that were traced, and then choose which technique feels best for you.
So also, if you notice, Amy was using her fingertips for some, and I am using my open hand. When you first begin doing this, it's probably a good idea to leave your hand open, because you won't be as certain about where the meridians are, and this way you'll be sure and touch everything. And then as you get better at it, you'll feel the difference. You'll want to
try to use your fingers and pick those lines out. So, thanks.
Thanks,
Thanks, Amy.
You're welcome, and thank you.